Starting... Hello ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it's RJ, and today we'll be taking a look at the Marmit Burning Godzilla Roaring version. And I'm not sure which one of the 400 colorways this one's supposed to be. From the company that brought you figures that retail for $60, even though they're essentially just glorified standard scale figures, comes the wrong colored paint. And no paint at all. Starting with articulation, we have some swivels at the shoulders, but since the figure is made out of hard vinyl, they don't really move that well, and the legs get in the way. Nice thigh swivel, and then the tail is basically the only part of the figure that moves somewhat smoothly. Moving on to detail, when Marmit typically comes up in discussion, they're usually regarded as art pieces more or less. And I see where the people are coming from. It's definitely got an artistic flair to it, if nothing else. The proportions are a little bit different. The head starts off normal and then just kind of melts into an exaggerated version of the suit. The tail is very stubby. The colors are a little bit more animated looking. And I personally think it looks excellent. Might not be for everybody. Some of their figures are a little bit ugly looking in my opinion. But for an art piece, some of the paint fuck-ups on this figure are a little bit inexcusable. You've got the teeth, which are only kinda sorta painted most of the time. You've got a bunch of unpainted spines. Once again, this is supposed to be an art piece according to some people. The paint on the back of the tail is not finished. Beautiful, magnificent. I have to be a Marmit connoisseur to criticize these figures, of course, because if I'm not, I don't get it. I'm not a connoisseur, I'm not a man of culture, so I cannot ever criticize these figures. Don't you understand? If you don't understand, you're a plebeian. So in short, without me going on a fucking absurd rant about nothing, this is a very nice figure, but if you're not into the look of it from here, you're probably not going to like it in person either. So be careful how you spend your money because these are very expensive figures. For packaging, amazing. Typically when a company releases a premium figure, they release in, I don't know, a fucking box. Marmit decided that that is too mainstream and instead released their figures in little plastic bags with these cardboard attachments instead. Here you have Mosugoji lurking in the shadows because he is a fraud. This is not actually the figure that is based off of him, that's a different one. Here you have Godzilla Vinyl Wars. You get it? They think they're clever. You have two licensing stickers. Why they had to go with both, I'm not quite sure. You have Metacom Toy. You have a bunch of other companies that do stylized figures like M1, Marusan, CCP, etc. I'm assuming that's what the Vinyl Wars line is actually comprised of, not just straight Marmit figures. And then finally you have 6,500 yen more or less, so about $60 retail. For scaling, here we have the Marmit Burning Godzilla next to the theater exclusive Burning Godzilla. I wonder what these scribbles are supposed to be. And the SH Monster Art, so he's basically a little bit smaller than a standard scale Bandai figure. So overall, this figure is brimming with personality if nothing else. The sculpt is masterfully done, but it is obviously stylized. The paint, where there's not apparent flaws on it, once again looks very nice. You got the gold and the orange, and then the black vinyl, nice and glossy. Relatively tall for a vinyl figure, especially considering the stuff that comes out now. The problem is, if you like this colorway, good luck finding it, because there's a million of them for a reason. They sell out in about 8 minutes, and then they never show up again unless you want to spend $200 for one of them. My personal opinion on these Marmit figures is, buy one or two of them of your favorite design. The charm of them is a little bit diminished if you have 50 of them on a shelf sitting together, and I'm sure it's not going to be very nice for your bank account. So very good figure. Just get a few of them though.